killed him. I killed him. I killed him.
What are you saying, Alejandro?
It was my fault. It was my fault. Hector died because of me.
Don't say those things. Don't say those things. Hector's death was an accident. Why are you saying that it was your fault, Alejandro?
I shouldn't have decided to operate on him. I didn't want to do it. I wish I didn't do it, Maribel.
Were there any problems during the operation?
I really don't understand what happened, I swear. Everything was going very well when all of a sudden things went out of control.
Maybe it was the problem with his spinal column?
No, that was the strangest thing. Hector had a hemorrhage that we were unable to stop, and we lost him. He died at my hands. He died. He died.
Do you really think Alejandro actually listened to you and deliberately let Hector die?
Of course. There's no other possible explanation. Hector's condition was stable according to Dr. Lara. The worst possible risk was he would be crippled, not die. He died because Alejandro decided to take him out of our lives.
I never would have thought Alejandro.
That Alejandro will kill for me? It goes to show you how much he loves me and up to where he is willing to go for me. Alejandro and I have shared many things, but nothing as hugely important as this. The secret of Hector's death will keep us together forever.
Alejandro, I know you tried your very best. You're not to blame for anything.
I really need you so much.
Alejandro, I don't think that you would do something so terrible and deliberate that would cause the death of Hector. But even then, that doesn't change the decision that I already made.
Excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Not at all, Mr. Ignacio. You're not interrupting anything. I just came to show my support to your son.
My son. I'm sorry.
I have to go and talk with Mr. Renaro and Mrs. Elisa.
Yes, my son. It's your duty. They're expecting an explanation from the doctor who operated on their son.
I'll go with you, Alejandro. They're really hurting right now.
Thank you, Maribel, but then, no. This is something that I feel I have to do alone.
The secret that you were saying, Ruby, could very well end all hope that you have of keeping Alejandro.
Don't be such a party pooper, Loreto. You don't know what you're saying.
Right now, Ruby, when he looks into your eyes, I don't think he'll feel love, nor desire. What he'll be feeling is guilt. Don't you understand? Alejandro is now a murderer, and you forced him to do it, and he will never forgive you for it.
No, Loreto. Maybe our love isn't what you call perfect, but it's a real love. We both made mistakes, and we've hurt each other very much. But we have also forgiven each other everything. And therefore, it makes our love a unique.
Do you think that's real love?
Yes. Alejandro knows that I would kill for him if I find it necessary. And if that's not love, then I wonder what love is.
I pity you, Ruby.
Stop bothering me now, will you?
Hector was a true love of my life. We were about to start a new life, Marco.
I know that you're hurting, but you will need to get past this.
My life so far has been very sad like Hector. He was married to a woman who only made his life very unhappy. And now, just when he had at last opened his eyes...
Elena, life can seem so unfair to us a lot of times. It's true that Hector did suffer, but he decided on his own fate.
Hector was going to leave, Ruby.
Elena, The obsession that Hector had for Ruby was uncontrollable. I really don't think that things would have
I
changed
curse
for...
that woman, Marco. She'll pay for all that evil that she has caused. For everything, Marco. I want to see him, Arturo. I want to see my son. I want to be with him. I want to be with my son.
My love. My love.
I can't believe that he's dead. I can't.
What happened, Renato? They're preparing his body right now. They'll let us know when we can see him.
How dare you murder my son!
Elisa! Elisa!
Elisa! You killed him! You killed him! You killed my son!
That was why I saw Alejandro hugging Ruby the way he did.
I'm sure of that. Alejandro was only trying to protect her from Hector.
But even
Maribel.
then...
I understand how you feel, but then... You have to understand him. If he has been kind to Ruby, it's because they both share the sorrow of losing a child. But Alejandro loves you. I beg you, Maribel. Please don't leave him.
I don't know what will happen to our relationship. But I assure you that I am not going to abandon him at a moment like this, when he surely needs the support of all the people who love him.
Thank you, Maribel.
I did everything I could to be able to save him.
You're a liar. You wanted him to die.
Elisa. What happened? Please explain to us what really happened.
Everything went well. I just managed to stabilize his spine.
Looks like this operation will be a success.
The metal plates are in place. The most difficult part is over. I think he'll now be able to move his legs.
Dr. Cardenas, his pressure's going down.
He's hemorrhaging.
What's the matter? Why doesn't the blood stop flowing?
I don't know, Alejandro.
Quick, we need 3 plasma units now. Hurry! The hemorrhage was uncontrollable. The vital signs decreased and...
Cardiac arrest!
What do we do now, Alejandro?
The vital signs still decreasing, Doctor.
Let's turn him down!
There's no pulse.
Defibrillator! Charge to 200. Move aside! Come on, 360. Move aside! I tried several times to resuscitate him, but... Please respond. Hector! Come on! Come on! Hector!
We lost him,
Come on!
Dr. Cardenas.
He died at 1721 hours.
What was the cause of the hemorrhage? There must have been a cause or some reason.
Yes, but then... I don't know. None of the doctors who took part in the operation had any idea what the probable cause was.
I know what happened, Alejandro. Hector died because of negligence on your part. It's your fault you didn't take good care of him.
I swear we tried everything. But the hemorrhage was out of control.
This is all your fault, Alejandro. Hector died during the operation.
I'm terribly sorry. I can only imagine how you're feeling. Can you please tell me where the wake's going to be? And thank you for calling me. Hector, my partner, just died during the operation.
What do you know? Our doctor Alejandro Cardenas won't only be losing his research. But it seems he's also committing very serious medical mistakes. Oh, poor soul.
How I would like to go back in time. To feel and hold you in my arms again. To take care of you. Like I did when you were a little boy. I hope that somehow this part of your life had been very happy. As for me, I remember when you first moved in with us then. I thought you were the most beautiful present, my son. Thank you for giving us so many moments of joy. Oh, my son. How I wish I had succeeded in separating you from that woman. But I promise that your death will not go unpunished. Alejandro will pay dearly for everything that he has done to you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My son. What happened?
It was a bad day.
Yes, I can imagine why you're saying that. I'm aware that Alejandro lost my partner in that operation. This is one more blow that I get from Alejandro.
It was very strange. I was there the whole time.
Well, what exactly happened? What was wrong with Alejandro?
Alejandro didn't do anything wrong. Everything was going smoothly until Hector started bleeding. We don't know what caused the hemorrhage.
Well, I'm leaving because, frankly, I'm not interested to listen to all the gory details. And besides, I have to attend the wake of Hector.
I understand, of course.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Were you celebrating?
Yes. We were because we finally found someone who agreed to publish under his name the research that you graciously stole for us from Alejandro.
Are you the widow of Mr. Ferrer?
Yes. They told me that I had to come and sign some documents.
We'll be returning your husband's personal belongings. I need you to check them and sign the receipt for me, please. A watch, a wedding ring, a wallet with IDs, credit cards, and other effects. And these are the clothes that he was wearing.
Please deliver these things to the gentleman. He's the father of my late husband. Is this where I have to
Yes, ma'am.
sign?
This envelope was in the clothes of Mr. Ferrer. To whom shall I give it to?
You can give it to my father-in-law.
Here you are.
Thank you.
We have to agree on what to do about the funeral.
Please, Mr. Genaro. This has been extremely difficult for me. I have no idea what to do with the paperwork.
You're talking about my son. Could you at least pretend that you loved him a little?
Do you know what? I'm just too tired right now to argue with you. I'll let you take care of the arrangements for the funeral.
All right, let me ask you a favor. I don't want to see you at the funeral. I only want to have with us the people who really loved him.
You don't have to worry. I know that I'm not welcome. And I'm not interested to go to the funeral of the man who murdered my son.
Father, I don't think that I did the right thing after all.
What are you saying? Have you forgotten that it was his fault that I spent many years in prison?
It's just that maybe all this time we were wrong, and in fact, it wasn't the fault of Alejandro Cardenas.
What's the matter with you, Ernesto? Don't tell me that the bastard has fooled you too.
No, Father. But I've realized that Alejandro is not a bad person. I saw how hard he tried to save the life of Hector.
No doctor would be so stupid to allow his patient to bleed to death during an operation. He had his reasons to let him die, and you know it.
What happened, son? What happened?
They're making me responsible for Hector's death. They have reasons to believe that I...
No, Alejandro, don't say those things. You have to understand how hurt they are feeling. They don't know what they're saying.
Maribel, go see Mrs. Elisa, please. She really needs you. She's devastated.
But then, Alejandro...
I'm fine. Honestly.
I just want you to know that I trust in you completely. And I believe that you did all that you could to save Hector.
Son, what's the matter?
Father, you've no idea how I feel now.
Look at what I have. Look what's left of my beloved husband.
Is that everything they gave you?
No. These are the only things that I care to have. Just close with Mr. Genaro.
Well, if we have nothing else to do here, let's go. I'll drive you home.
No. I'll be leaving with Alejandro.
With Alejandro? That's going to look very suspicious. You ought to be with the deceased man.
Mr. Genaro forbade me to. Therefore, I'm free tonight to talk with Alejandro about our future plans. And to thank him for the proof of love he has given me.
Don't you think you should at least let your husband's corpse get cold?
No. And as of tonight, I'll be starting my new life with Alejandro. Please keep these for me. I don't have a bag. See you. Maribel! Were you about to give me your condolences now that I'm a widow?
You don't have to pretend with me. I know very well that you never even loved Hector.
I didn't love him, but then I have to admit that he took me out of the tenements where I lived and gave me a lot of things, starting with his love. It's such a pity. The only one that I've ever loved is Alejandro. Well then, I'm a widow, I'm free, and I still live in his house.
Ruby, a terrible thing has just happened. And even if you are free, as you say, the time will come when Alejandro will have to decide with whom to stay. Either with me or with you.
Where did I hear that before? Where?
Don't be too confident.
You can say whatever you want. However, it's a pity that a poor and lame woman like you will never know the lengths that a man is capable of going for love.
I just pity you.
No.
Father, never before have I faced an operation as difficult as this. And I'm not speaking as a doctor. I'm saying it for everything that it meant.
Yes, my son, but you are an extraordinary doctor and out of ethics.
Yes, Father. It's probably out of ethics. I shouldn't have operated on him. When I went into that operating room, I wasn't feeling sure of myself. Father, because I didn't want to operate on him.
Alejandro, what are you trying to tell me, that you were responsible for Hector's death? Answer me.
Mr. Ignacio, what are you saying? I know you well, Alejandro. You're not capable of doing something like that. Why don't you tell your father how you tried your best to save the life of Hector? Tell him now.
I'll see you at home, Alejandro. We haven't finished our discussion yet. Excuse me.
Of course. What were you going to tell your father? Alejandro, what were you going to tell your father?
Nothing. Will you please leave me alone?
I can't just leave you alone. You need me now more than ever. And I want to be with you. I want to give you my support during these trying moments.
Ruby. Hector is dead. Dead. How could you possibly presume that we could be together? Please go away. I feel terrible.
I understand. Because they're also blaming me for what happened to Hector. Even Mr. Genaro forbade me to go to the funeral. But that shouldn't confuse us, my dear. Hector killed our son. Hector wanted to separate us.
Ruby, I want to be alone. Please leave now.
All right. Let's talk tomorrow when you're feeling better. Is that okay? I'm going to spend the night at my house in case you need to see me.
Elena, I'm so sorry. I understand your suffering because I do know that you are actually the true widow of Hector. And I hope that you can overcome this. If there's anything I can do to help, you can always count on my support.
Thank you.
You have nothing to thank me for, Elena. You know well that to me you're more than a mere employee. And even if our relationship now is different, it wasn't always like that.
I know that.
Elena, you're free to come back to work whenever you feel like you're ready to work. For the moment, just take as much time as you wish so you could mourn for the death of Hector. As you know well, he and I did always see eye to eye, but then I can't help but feel deep sorrow for his death because, as far as I know, his life wasn't really in danger, was it?
No. Alejandro, I think he got rid of him so he could have Ruby.
Are you telling me that Dr. Cardenas was responsible for the death of Hector?
Yes. And this time neither he nor Ruby will ever get away with this one.
What you're saying is something serious. What are you planning to do to prove that's true?
Whatever is necessary so that the death of Hector won't go unpunished.
Alejandro is a murderer. He killed Hector. And you have to get away from him. Because he's not worthy of your love. The only place where he deserves to be is in prison.
Alejandro didn't mean to hurt Hector.
Please don't let love blind you, dear. Every finger points to him.
I have to call up some friends right now. Excuse me.
Daddy, I understand that Elisa is blinded by the pain she's feeling. But you... How is it possible that you doubt Alejandro?
I'm aware that I cannot forbid you. But if the results of the investigation's evidence show that Alejandro is guilty, you should forget about him forever.
Father?
Natty.
imagine how much this hurts me. Parents are not supposed to survive their children. It's not right. It's not right. I already lived my life. Why didn't I die? Why didn't I die? Why didn't I die?
Don't say those things, Father. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to leave me ever. Please promise me. Please don't ever leave me, Father.
No, my love.
Please forgive me. It's just that I'm so clumsy.
No, Paco. I think that it could happen to anyone.
What?
This one.
I'll just get my coat and go to the wake.
Paco, we didn't finish talking because Ernesto arrived to tell you about Hector. But what I was going to tell you is that I'm leaving my pad as well as my job. I don't feel comfortable with what happened between us.
Where will you go, Ingrid? Without money, without a job?
Well, you don't have to worry. I think I'll manage. And well, if things don't work out, I can go back to Monterey with my parents.
I don't understand what happened. What attracted you to me?
I don't know for sure. I simply found out that we have a lot of nice things in common.
I'm glad you came, ma'am. Because your sister Christina called 3 times to ask about the master.
If she calls, tell her I'm not in. And tell her that Hector died.
What? The master?
What part didn't you understand?
I'm terribly sorry, ma'am.
I want you to fix the closet. It will be only for me. Take out all the things that belong to the master. His clothes, his pictures, totally everything.
What should I do with them?
Throw them away, burn them, or swallow them, whatever you find easier to do. Make sure there's nothing from him in this house. Move it!
Someone is looking for you, ma'am.
Leave us alone.
What do you want to hear? That I killed your son? Yes, I killed him.
Alejandro, what are you doing here?
Nothing, Father. Leave me alone.
No, I'm not leaving you during these difficult times. What were you about to tell me in your office?
Father, the only thing I want is to be alone.
Alejandro!
If you're here to go with me to the wake, thanks for the offer. But Mr. Genaro forbade me to be there.
He's right. The woman who truly loved him is already with him, weeping over his death.
If you mean Elena, it seems in very bad taste that the mistress is welcomed with open arms, while they give me, the wife, the cold shoulder.
Stop pretending. You don't have to pretend that you feel sad over the death of Hector. That's why I'm here. So that we can celebrate our...
Misha, you know very well that I didn't love Hector, but he just died.
So what? You have so many unsettled debts with me. And the time has come for you to pay them back. I want you so much.
Please excuse me. But I have to make a call to the lawyer who is in charge of Hector's estate.
You really are truly amazing, Ruby.
Why? I'm a widow, and I have the right to take care of my well-being. I have to know what I have, and what I don't. It's therefore urgent that the will be read.
The important thing here is that I now understand the obsession that Hector used to feel for you, and the madness that you can provoke in men.
I'm glad that you understand it, so you won't have any doubts on how much I'm worth. You have seen what happened to Hector and Alejandro. They both paid a very high price just to have me, and I'm not referring to money.
Don't you worry, because that will not happen to me.
Oh, my son.
you who gave life to your son Hector, to welcome him. Dear merciful Father, because of your infinite kindness, please forgive his sins. May he rest in peace, and his next of kin find consolation in you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
We will be spending a long time in Paris. No one can stop you now. You're a widow.
That was not the deal, Lucio. We agreed that I would spend a weekend with you. And you've already taken a night in advance. Therefore, part of my debt with you is already settled.
Ruby, mourning becomes you. I like you very much, and I want you just for me. But as I haven't lost my mind over you yet, I want you to decide if you want to be with me.
Well, like you, I don't lose my mind so easily either. Therefore, the only way to accept your proposal is for you to make me the Countess of Aragon.
Ruby, I could never make you the Countess of Aragon, but think of all the things I could give you.
Why do you want me with you, Lucio? I don't think that a one-night stand is enough for you to behave so generously. Isn't it that you're perhaps in love with me?
No. We agreed that there wouldn't be love between us, and there isn't.
Another gentleman is here for you, ma'am.
Count.
I'm leaving. Excuse me.
I can't believe what I've just seen.
Would it shock you if I told you that I spent the night with Lucio?
I'm terribly sorry, ma'am.
Get out of here. I don't want to speak to anyone who has something to do with Ruby.
Please excuse Mrs. Elisa. She's so hurt that she won't listen to reason at the moment.
Ruby behaved badly with Hector, but Christine is not to blame for that.
I know, Cayetano, but please believe me when I say that although Mrs. Elisa not only feels a deep hatred for Ruby, she is also sure that Alejandro killed her son.
What do you mean you just spent the night with him? You just buried your husband.
For Hector, I don't really care to have any sort of consideration.
Didn't you say you will spend the night with your beloved Alejandro? Wasn't luck on your side?
You know, Alejandro, morals and ethics are driving him crazy. I hope that he gets over this soon. Actually, I'm going to see him. That's why I dressed myself in mourning.
You won't convince him with that. I know that things won't be easy for you from now on. You turned him into murder. You think you'll be happy with him?
Of course I will. I will make sure of that.
I hope so, because I don't think you're planning to be with the Count.
Never. Lucio is not the man for me. But I've already confirmed that he is totally crazy about me, and if needed, I'm going to use him.
I chose the most beautiful flower to make your day because you're looking very sad.
Thank you. It's just that I have very serious problems, but seeing you always cheers me up.
Always. You're speaking to me as if we've known each other for a long time.
Well, what I meant to say is I'd like to be with you always.
I agree.
What?
I agree to be your girlfriend and share everything with you.
Honestly?
Yes.
Well, we'll have to start by being on a first-name basis.
Mrs. Elisa, have you ever considered what I told you back there during the wake?
There's nothing to think about. I absolutely agree with you. We'll do what's necessary for Alejandro to pay for his crime.
Then the first thing that you need to do is file a lawsuit so that investigation can start.
Elisa, excuse me. The investigation already started. The results of the autopsy reveal that there was, something out of the ordinary happened during the operation.
The more reason to accuse Alejandro.
Alejandro, what's the matter?
Why did you say those things to me? Why did you ask me to stop Hector from living?
I was just very nervous and confused. But you've no idea how I regret it.
I am very upset. Hector died because of me.
I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to defend you.
Don't hug me, Ruby. Every time I see you, I remember your words. Over and over again.
Could it be that the hatred you felt for Hector was stronger than your morals?
I don't ever want to see you.
I understand that you're in distress, but it's pointless for you to feel despair. Only you and I know what happened in the operating room, and nobody else needs to find out. Think it over, my love. No one can stop us from being happy.
No, I don't agree. You won't solve anything by walking away from me. But I accept your decision.
You have to understand that I can't continue to be with you, Paco. Paco.
You hypocrite! Mrs. Lola was so right when she advised me to throw you out of my house!
Lorena, calm down. What's the
What do
matter?
you think is the matter? I'm just so stupid. That's why I'm being fooled all the time. I'm done with you!
Attorney Almanza told me that you take care of my husband's affairs, and I can't wait until he comes back from his trip. No. I want my husband's last will to be read today. All right, I'll wait for your call. My love, I'm glad that you came to visit me.
Oh, your house is very beautiful.
You like it?
Yes, your garden is like a park.
You can have a house like this one.
As well as a hotel with a swimming pool like you do.
Yes.
Darling, what is important is not the material things people have, but what they have inside their hearts.
I guess you came to extend your condolences.
Come, dear Fernanda. Let's play while your mother chats with your aunt.
I suppose you still haven't forgiven Hector, but he was your husband, Ruby. I was surprised when I didn't see you in the funeral.
Why would I go? So that Mrs. Elisa can ask me to leave the cemetery? In the same way that you threw me out of my mother's burial?
Thank you. Thank you for all the things that you did for my son.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Elisa.
Thank you very much, Natty.
Excuse me. Hello? Yes, it's me. What is it?
I would have loved that my son and you. Anyway, you know that you can always count on me. Thank you.
This is the last straw. She's got some nerve, Ruby. She called Hector's lawyer because she insists that the will be read today.
You gave up a lot of things just so you could get married to Hector. Yet I see now that you don't even mourn for his death.
That's right. It doesn't hurt me. Alejandro and I hate him since our baby died because of him.
Ruby, I found out at the funeral that Mrs. Elisa and Mr. Genaro were blaming Alejandro for the death of Hector.
I can't believe that even if he decided to operate on him to help him, they still blame him. You know Alejandro, Christina. Do you think he's capable of that?
No, it's just that I'm really worried about you. Your future, Ruby.
You don't have to worry. Today, a new life is starting for me. Well, it is too soon since Hector just died. I'm sure that everything will be settled soon. And I'm quite sure that we will get married very soon.
Alejandro, I have to speak with you. It's something very important.
What is it? You look quite distressed.
Of course I am. Alejandro, I don't doubt your innocence. I trust you completely, but things are getting complicated.
Maribel, things started to go wrong. The moment I agreed to operate on Hector.
What do you mean? I need to know because Mrs. Elisa is planning to...
Doctor! The police are looking for you!
Mr. Alejandro Cardenas?
Yes, I am.
We have an arrest warrant for you since you are the principal respondent in the murder of architect Hector Ferrer.